ATon is a younger sibling of Ladore. The two collaborated on Manly back in 2021. ATon then branched out on his own with a trio of scents: the Bright Lights, Roxbury, and Patchouli Lave. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Coloniano D. And welcome back to my Generation X olfactory experience. Today, as you can see, I'll be reviewing from the house of ATon Perfumes. Patchouli Lave. It's an oriental aromatic fragrance and it was released back in 2022. Now, Patchouli Lave is part of a trio that ATon released in his debut back in 2022. So the Bright Lights, which I did a review on, Roxbury, and this Patchouli Lave were all released in 2022. So ATon went big on this one, and all three are really nice, solid fragrances. So let's go over the notes. Top notes. We have champaca, cardamom, tonka bean. Heart, we have patchouli leaf, oak moss, and the base, we have white musk. Now, Patchouli Lave opens with a luscious blend of champaca. A very nice champaca. This is really high quality. You get some champaca and some other fragrances, but this one is something special. You get the champaca and cardamom, so you're getting this sweet and spicy. The champaca is somewhat musky. You would think it's animalic, but it's not. This is not an animalic fragrance. You just get that little bit of muskiness that it's slightly, just a slight bit of animalic vibe to it. It's really, really nice. You also get a little bit of powderiness. So you're getting the champaca, the beautiful flower of champaca, the spices of cardamom, and a slight powderiness, just a little bit. And the powderiness is coming from the champaca too, so believe it or not. So it's really nice. I actually think there is a little bit of clove, but it's not listed, so it's really not important. That's just what I think, just because of the sweetness. And it's really nice. So this one is an oriental, and the addition of the tonka bean. Now the tonka bean, it's listed at the top, which I do get, and that's what adds that sweetness to it. So that direction right off the top, this fragrance projects. It's a projector right off the top. So when you spray it, you can easily overspray if you're not careful, and you get drawn in. Now, lave. The meaning of lave is to wash and bathe. So if you do overspray, which I spray heavy anyway, I'm bathing in lave right now, and it's my scent of the day. And it smells absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I would say this fragrance is underrated. It's very underrated. And so once the top smooths out, the earthy patchouli and oak moss starts to move in, mellowing out the sweetness. So I'm about 2 hours in right now. I am smelling really, really good. Whether anyone realizes it or not, this fragrance it's really nice. It's my scent of the day, and it actually smells better on skin. So once that patchouli and the oak moss start to move in, it starts to mellow out. The note breakdown, like I said, is not complex. Patchouli Lave doesn't change much, and that's where, the development of the fragrance, it stays somewhat linear, but a smoother version of the opening. That's what you get a lot when one says, well, the fragrance is linear, it doesn't move much, it doesn't have any different developments or nuances. But if it's linear, and if you really do like the top, and it just makes its way through, pretty much the same. Now, like I said, you're getting that patchouli and that moss in there, so it is kind of moving a little bit, but it doesn't quite move as one would think, and it becomes a smoother version of the opening. It's really, really nice. Now, with this scent, and if you're looking at the color, the patchouli and the oak moss somewhat give it a retro vibe, or even a vintage vibe. There's just something very distinguished about this fragrance when you get towards the deep dry down. If I were to give you a comparison of the genre of fragrance, I would say it would be Calvin Klein's Obsession. It's that type of oriental type fragrance, let alone the color. The color kind of resembles Obsession. Now, I'm not saying it smells like Obsession. It smells nothing like Obsession. Nothing like it. But it's that same genre, or that same type of fragrance. It's not a clone. Don't quote me as saying it's exactly the same or it's a clone. It's in that line of oriental fragrances is what I'm saying. And as you can see, the color, the amber color of Obsession. So like I said earlier, Patchouli Lave stays linear but smooths out, and it's much earthier, and it's really, really a nice fragrance. Now, longevity. Now, according to the note breakdown, okay, you have Champaca, cardamom, tonka bean, patchouli leaf, oak moss, and white musk. The musk you get right off the top, tonka bean. It's sweet, it's powdery, it's the Champaca, it's just fantastic. Longevity is all day. Longevity is all day. It's a solid performer. I wear it to work and casual. It's good for a date night. It really is good for a date night. Now, when I change my clothes, I throw them down before I put them in the hamper, and I'll walk out of the room, or I'll get up the next morning, okay, and you could actually smell Patchouli Lave permeate the room. And the longevity is all day. I could smell it the next morning. This is really a solid fragrance. And I've had this right from the beginning. As you can see, I put a little dent in it. You let this fragrance macerate for a bit. It's a solid release. This is definitely a solid release. And, like I said, lave, the definition of lave is to bathe or wash in it. And that's what I do. And that's what I feel like. It's just fantastic. So let me know. This is my review. It's not much of a long review, just because, the note breakdown. And like I said, the fragrance stays a little linear, but smooths out really, really nice. Really nice. It's unisex. To me, this leans a little bit more on the masculine side of the unisex scope. So, let me know what you think. Have you tried Patchouli Lave? Let me know your thoughts. Feel free to comment. I'd love for someone to comment. And that's pretty much it. That's my review. Patchouli Lave, ATon Perfumes. It's an let me mention, ATon had released back here 2024 two more, which I haven't tried yet. Animalia, which is on the animalic side, and so is Morris Aquino, from what I gather. So there's quite a departure from the Bright Lights, Roxbury, and Patchouli Lave. he's kind of departed from the more subtle type scents, the more safe per se, and he's kind of picked up on some of the trend that his that Arige Lador takes, which is a little bit more on the animalic side with Animalia and Morris Aquino. So I'm dying to get my nose on those. And that's it. That's my review. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I will absolutely see you next time. Thanks.